The rumor began with a single, cryptic post. Someone saw Dukong at the Bulgari Hotel in Ximending. But anyone who actually lives in Taiwan knows there's no Bulgari Hotel in Ximending. The only place with a similar name is the Bulgari Hotel, a modest guest house that mostly hosts tourists from mainland China. One misplaced letter, yet it was enough to drag the entire internet into a maze of suspicion. From that moment, Dukong, the former manager of actor Yu Menglong, was thrust back into the eye of the storm. On October 20th, several Taiwanese outlets reported that he might have fled to the island, using the alias Du Yichen, and was allegedly working with a local entertainment company. Within hours, 11 Music Entertainment issued a public denial. The Bulgari Hotel also confirmed that no guest named Du Kang or Du Yucheng had ever stayed there. All official statements were denials, yet the empty space between them only fueled public doubt. Online users began suggesting another possibility. If he really came to Taiwan, it wasn't just to hide. At the same time, on October 17th, in New Taipei City, producer Sun Durong, the mentor who guided Yu Menglong in his early career, held a small memorial service. On Facebook he wrote, "If I were afraid, I wouldn't have held this memorial for you. I'll just be careful when I go out." The words sounded calm, yet readers felt an unspoken fear beneath them, especially when he added, "I know very well that traffic accidents are the hardest to avoid." Comment sections immediately exploded with warnings, urging him to seek police protection because evil can do anything. Why are people so afraid of Dukong? For over a decade, he was not only Yu Menglong's manager, but also handled Qiao Renliang, who died mysteriously in 2016, and Shu Feng, a martial arts actor killed in a traffic accident last year. 3 artists, 3 tragic deaths, 1 manager in common. While the public was still reeling, Yu Menglong's name appeared where no one expected it. On TC Candler's 100 Most Handsome Faces of 2025. Beneath his portrait was a single line of text, "Rest in peace." International fans were moved. The hashtag Justice for Yu Menglong spread worldwide, and online petitions demanding an independent investigation surpassed 500,000 signatures, reaching as far as South Korea and the United States. Several memorial videos amassed millions of views within days. Yet behind the grief lurks a more disturbing detail. A behind-the-scenes photo from Yu's drama, a love story of oiled paper umbrella, and a live stream of his hike on Mount Tai in late 2024 revealed something unsettling. His lower left molar was missing. A small detail, but it appeared in multiple shots, too consistent to be coincidence. Production records show that a love story of oiled paper umbrella began filming in June 2023 and premiered exclusively on IQ December 2024. If those images are authentic, the tooth was already gone at least 6 months before the release. Coincidentally, that was also when K.i.l.Wu Sheng Company was founded, a Tianjin-based company jointly registered by Zhou Pin and Dukong. After its creation, Yu's personal assistant was replaced, and his schedule grew suspiciously intense. Several crew members later claimed he wore a mask even on set, for dental health reasons. Now that excuse feels different, almost like a warning in disguise. Forensic specialists explain that in human body preservation, teeth and nails are often removed to prevent decay. The explanation sounds clinical, but it made the internet shudder. Could someone have planned this long ago? To turn a living actor into a perfect specimen in a ritual no one was supposed to see. A hotel that doesn't exist. A man who vanished. A tooth gone missing. And hundreds of thousands still asking the same question. If this is all coincidence, why does it fit so perfectly? K.i.l.Wu Sheng and the coordinates of death. In China's art business circles, the name K.i.l.Wu Sheng sounds harmless, like an interior design studio or a boutique recording house. But when internet users dug through Tianjin's corporate registration database, they discovered something strange. The company was incorporated in April 2024 with only 2 shareholders, Zhou Pin and Du Kong. Its official scope of business: design, research, art exhibition. No one knows what that research actually means. Even stranger, the company's registered address matches the site of an old underground warehouse belonging to the Genesis Museum System, a facility long rumored to contain 4 subterranean levels never open to the public. From that point on, many began to suspect that K.i.l.e.D Sheng was merely a legal shell for the backstage operations of the Genesis Art Center, the same art complex now under fire for displaying posthumous works that eerily resemble deceased celebrities. In traditional Chinese cosmology, Wu Sheng refers to the 5 ancient musical tones: Gong, Shang, Ju, Zi, and Yu, representing the cycle of life, prosperity, conflict, death, and extinction. If the founders chose the name deliberately, then Wu Sheng could symbolize the yin-yang rhythm of birth, decay, and sacrifice. Meanwhile, K.i.l.e.D in archaic Chinese can mean an orange mark, a sign of warning. Together they form a rare and unsettling phrase, the warning mark of the life and death cycle. Design insiders in Beijing noted that the company's logo, 5 intersecting sound waves forming a pentagon, looked identical to the pattern hung in Gallery 4 at the 798 Art Zone, the very gallery where, after Yu Menglong's death, the infamous carp-headed statue in a gray suit was unveiled. Behind that statue on the wall spiraled an orange vortex identical to the Wu Sheng sigil used by K.i.l.e.D Wu Sheng. First coordinate, Tianjin. According to commercial satellite data shared by a group of network engineers, the building registered as K.i.l.e.D Wu Sheng's headquarters contains 4 underground levels. Its internal camera system runs on military-grade H.265 encryption, not the civilian standard. When the team attempted to tap into nearby public camera feeds, they discovered part of the signal being rerouted to a server in Beijing, specifically the 798 Art Zone, an unusual data link bridging a so-called art research company with the country's national art district. Second coordinate, Beijing. At the same time, 798 Art Center suddenly closed for 2 days, citing maintenance. 2 days later, the museum reopened and officially released a new video introducing its so-called new exhibit. In the video, a massive specimen slowly emerged under stark white light. The head was that of a giant fish, a homophone for the word "you," while the lower body wore a gray ash suit bound tightly with chains and red ribbons. As the video spread, netizens quickly placed 2 images side by side and realized that the outfit was almost identical to the one Yu Menglong had worn in a previous photo shoot. Everything seemed far too deliberate to be called coincidence. Millions of people were outraged, seeing it as a deliberate act of provocation, a way to turn grief into art and to mock the memory of Yu Menglong in the coldest possible way. Many called it the most cruel and blasphemous artwork of the century. Third coordinate, Taipei. A man claiming to be a former employee of the Genesis Art Museum in Taipei revealed another clue. After the memorial for Yu Menglong, a container ship from Beijing arrived at Keelung port, labeled Temporary Exhibition, Preserved Specimen, Refrigerated. Though the claim couldn't be independently verified, Taiwan's Customs Authority later confirmed that a sealed art container with incomplete paperwork was detained for several days. No one knows what was inside. Even now, that container remains sealed and stored. 3 coordinates, Tianjin, Beijing, and Taipei, form a near-perfect triangle on the map. Coincidentally, the triangle's center lies over the Bahai Sea, where China operates a classified research base on magnetic resonance and biofield preservation technologies for organic materials. A few Chinese bloggers went further, claiming the specimen displayed at 798 might not be mere sculpture at all, but a biological prototype born from a state-level experiment. No one dares to confirm it. Yet when all these fragments are laid side by side, they no longer feel like coincidences. If art is meant to capture the human soul, then perhaps someone has learned to use art to imprison it. The torture room and the ritual of fame. If Qiao Sheng was the outer shell, the deepest layer of the mystery lies within what insiders call the basement gallery of the 798 Art Zone in Beijing, a place where light never reaches. According to leaked architectural blueprints, the complex descends 7 underground levels, but the public is allowed access only to the 3rd. Levels 4 and below are described as specimen storage and bioexperiment facilities. No one has ever confirmed this, yet several art staff have reportedly been dismissed for taking photos in restricted areas. Around mid-October, a series of images, allegedly leaked from the lower floors of the Genesis Art Center, spread across Chinese social media. In the pictures, a room glowed under a faint red light. Posters of Leslie Cheung and Teresa Teng, 2 cultural icons who died in loneliness, hung on the wall. Beneath them stood an old iron chair, chains draped over its armrests, and on the floor, a swirling pentagonal symbol identical to the logo of Qiao Sheng. Many believe this was not a studio at all, but an execution chamber, or rather, a ritual room of a darker ceremony, a place where pain was used as a tool to rebirth a brand. According to that theory, when an artist is pushed to the edge of suffering, their soul leaves behind the strongest emotional energy that can then be re-harvested for new works of art, videos, music, or even to sustain the commercial image attached to their name. An anonymous blogger wrote, "In China's entertainment world, a celebrity's death is not the end. It's the start of another extraction cycle. Public grief becomes media energy, and when that energy is controlled, its profit is limitless." What sounded like a media philosophy elsewhere became, in this context, a confession of an entire system. A former technician at the Genesis Art Museum claimed that the basement contained a special acoustic room. The walls were lined with insulation thicker than any recording studio, and the floor was designed to drain toward a single central point. Such a structure resembled not an audio lab, but a wash chamber for industrial fluids. He said sound was the core of the ritual. Whenever there was a new subject, they would play an ancient 5-tone Chinese scale, remixed at a sub-resonant frequency, a vibration that traveled through the body, causing mild hallucinations, and according to old feng shui lore, could release the spirit from the flesh. It might be only legend. Yet when fans compared the background audio from Yu Menglong's old rehearsal videos, they found that the bass frequency matched 85% of the modified 5-tone sound used in recent 798 exhibitions. Coincidence, or proof that he had already been psychologically conditioned long before? A professor of art from Tsinghua University, speaking anonymously, once remarked, "Since 2010, Chinese contemporary art has cultivated a movement called the sacrifice of fame, recreating images of the dead through surreal symbols, turning their deaths into artworks and the artworks into instruments for the institutions behind them." Viewed through that lens, the 798 exhibits from the carp-headed statue in the gray suit to the posters of 2 departed icons all follow the same motif, the transformation of a human soul into an artistic emblem. And the people directing these works, according to company filings, are the shareholders of Qiao Sheng. After the torture room images surfaced, the account that posted them was deleted within 6 hours. The posts vanished from Weibo, Douban, and Bilibili. Since then, no one has dared to mention them publicly again. Only one comment remains under a YouTube memorial video for Yu Menglong, written in English. "They don't kill you for fame. They kill you to feed it." The victims who shared the same fate. While the public was still reeling from the images leaked from the 798 basement, another series of names began to resurface, like ghosts following the same script. Yu Menglong, Qiao Renliang, and most recently, Shu Feng. Shu Feng, a monk warrior turned star. His real name was Ximending, Dharma name Yan Xing. Born in Qiuan, Henan, he was a 34th generation disciple of the Shaolin Temple. Shu Feng was never a trained actor. He was a martial monk, a man who stepped out from the monastery courtyard, but carried the looks of a movie idol. Short clips of his kung fu routines went viral on social media, earning him the nickname, the Shaolin Prince, a symbol of youthful discipline and integrity. In 2024, he joined the TV drama Fo Shanhai, playing a character who shared his screen name, Shu Feng. At the height of his rising fame, in the early hours of August 7, 2024, he died in a ride-share car crash on the Gyung Expressway in Zhejiang province. Official reports claimed his car struck a parked freight truck. The cause, an accident, age 21. Right after the funeral, his sister told the media, it was just an accident. There's no conspiracy, but online users noticed something else. Inside the Genesis Art Center 798, an old pair of brown cloth shoes appeared on display beside a vague caption, artwork, The Monk's Journey. No one knew where the shoes came from, yet hours after the photo spread, people recognized them as identical to the ones Shu Feng wore in his Shaolin training videos. Next to them stood a human-shaped specimen whose facial features matched him with frightening precision. When two images, one of the man, one of the sculpture, were overlaid, the alignment was uncanny. A year later, vindication files for Shu Feng began circulating on Douyin. They claimed that his body had a long stitched incision running down the torso, and that several organs were missing. No one could confirm whether the first leaked photo was genuine, and local authorities neither confirmed nor denied. The silence only deepened public belief that something was being concealed. An anonymous Weibo account posted a black and white image of Shu Feng 2 days before the crash. Captioned, "This autumn, a wind will depart." Coincidentally, his final Weibo post read, "I'm heading away this autumn to film." During his last live stream, he sat inside a dark car, the light flickering across his face, his voice trembling. Whether there'll be another live tomorrow depends on fate. Some who replayed the clip swore they saw his lips form the words, "Help me." No one could prove it, but the expression in that video, tense, anxious, cornered, spoke louder than words. Independent online investigators later pointed out that the rideshare account used that night was registered under a fake identity, and the route didn't match the schedule he'd announced earlier. Leaked crash photos showed the car's frame warped from the inside out, as if the impact came from within. A Chinese blogger specializing in accident forensics wrote, "I've examined the scene photos. The body's position and the collision angle don't match a truck impact. This wasn't a random accident." Many began to believe Shu Feng had been under surveillance long before. He had publicly criticized corruption inside the entertainment industry, and that boldness might have made him a target for elimination. Some even unearthed a rumored list of those who know too much, containing the names Shu Feng, Yu Menglong, and 2 other young singers. What linked Yu Menglong, Qiao Renliang, and Shu Feng wasn't only their mysterious deaths, but the post-mortem exhibition motif, each left behind an object allegedly displayed as art. Qiao Renliang, a framed portrait in the Fallen Icon series in Shanghai. Yu Menglong, the carpet-headed gray suit statue at 798. Shu Feng, the cloth shoes and specimen from the monk's journey. Another coincidence. All 3 were physically fit, bright-minded, humble in origin. The perfect biological donors, or under darker theories, ideal subjects for the sacrifice of fame. Over the past decade, more than a dozen young Chinese stars have died unexpectedly. Most cases closed with the same verdict, suicide or accident. Yet the recurring circumstances, the presence of overlapping management circles, and the swift censorship by state-run media have convinced many that this is no longer coincidence, but system. When one person dies, it may be fate. When 10 die the same way, it's a system. An unnamed professor from the Central Academy of Fine Arts told a short-form interviewer, "We're witnessing a new kind of power, one that manufactures fame out of death. Artists like you and Shu are only the visible tip of a much larger iceberg." His words echoed across the internet like a warning. Because if those suspicions are true, then what operates behind museums and entertainment companies is not merely an art industry, but a sacrificial mechanism disguised as aesthetics. From Yu Menglong to Qiao Renliang to Shu Feng, different names, identical endings. A death-labeled accident, followed by an artifact displayed under gallery lights. 3 coordinates, Tianjin, Beijing, Taipei, now form a triangle of guilt where art, power, and sacrifice converge. The story of Yu Menglong is no longer just his own. It mirrors a system that turned art into a graveyard and death into a perfectly staged media event. 4 floors of light, 4 floors of darkness, 1 blood moon, 1 ritual. 1 name called by millions in silence. And sometimes, silence is more terrifying than death itself. When this video ends, if you still hear a faint echo in the background, it might just be audio noise. Or perhaps, the resonance rising from the lowest floor of 798.